This video is going to be a bit different than the stuff I usually do on this channel. As you can probably tell by the title, it's not really about music, which is what I'm usually talk about here. I wanted to just go more into things that I enjoy talking about with people, and it's my YouTube channel. Kind of just want to do my own thing, not just make it one-sided completely, even though music's one of my favorite things in the world. But I probably will try to incorporate some music, like what I like, what music reminds me of, what type of music reminds me of this time of year, certain albums that remind me of certain times of year and certain seasons. And I thought, I'm obviously in a different location than I usually am. When I'm at home, I'm at the beach with my girlfriend now, and I thought it'd be good to do it outdoors in the elements, talking about the seasons and stuff. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna go in order from where we are right now. It's obviously summertime. I'm at the beach here in North Carolina, Outer Banks area, and I'm gonna start with saying a few things that I do like about the summertime. I'd say one of my favorite things is the intensity of the sun, and there's something nice about just the intense heat to an extent, and when I like laying in the sun and feeling the sun on me, and I like being able to like come to the beach. I have good memories of that time of year, and yeah, and like amusement parks. I have lots of memories of amusement parks around this time of year, having fun with my friends, and yeah, so I've had a lot of memories of outdoor activities during the summer that I liked a lot. And yeah, I'd say things that I dislike about the summer also is the heat. The heat is just so brutal around here in like the kind of southern United States, the eastern part of the United States. It just gets so humid, and it's just unbearable to be outside sometimes. A lot of the time, honestly, it's really humid right now. It's one of the hottest days it's been here at the beach so far on this trip. And it just wears me out, like, especially as I have a very active job at work and just have to be outside a lot, and just moving things around just really just wears me out. And yeah, I think that's really the main thing I dislike about summer, is just the heat is just so intense, and it's really hard to spend a lot of time outside. Yeah, it's just humidity is just so sticky and uncomfortable. Yeah, I guess the bugs as well. Being outside with all the bugs and just them getting in your house, and spiders building spider webs everywhere, and just mosquitoes, all those pesky creatures and stuff. But yeah, and I guess another good thing about summer though is that the everything is just so luscious and alive. I think that's really wonderful too. I guess music that reminds me of summertime, or what I associate with summertime, I guess I would, a certain album that really sticks out kind of is, I remember listening to the album Yeezus by Kanye West when it first came out 10 years ago, which is crazy. But other than that, I really just like associate like country music, classic rock music, reggae music, anything around that, like, and certain like grunge music and stuff like that too, and just rock in general. Alternative rock and stuff in general reminds me of this time of year. I guess like some like indie pop music as well, and just like pop music in general really reminds me of this time of year. Just like hearing that stuff at theme parks and outings and stuff. So like Charlie XCX, probably my favorite pop star. Listening to her music gives me a comfort, because it reminds me of going to these theme parks and stuff in the summertime and having good times out there. Yeah, so let's move on to the next season, which is my favorite of all. I'd say summer was probably my third favorite. Is probably my third favorite season out of all of them, out of the four. Autumn's my favorite, so number one here. What I love about fall is the angle of the sunshine, and how it just starts going a little bit, dipping into the sky and creating just some beautiful light on the beautiful foliage changing colors, and the just the crispness of the air coming in, and the cool break from just the intense heat of the summer coming in just is so relaxing and peaceful to me. Um, it's just such a beautiful time of year, and it leads into the holiday time, which is one of my favorite time of the year, which is like anything through October through the end of the year through December. Um, yeah, Halloween. I actually love Halloween. I love going to Halloween events. I like being out on farms and stuff and around Halloween time um, doing Halloween mazes, or just being at a pumpkin patch and getting pumpkins. I just absolutely love stuff like that. It just makes me so, brings me such a great deal of comfort. Um, yeah, it's hard for me to think of anything that I dislike about fall. I'd say the only thing I can really think of is just that fall is going to be over, and I'm going to have to wait a whole another year to have fall again, and it's usually fairly short. It always feels too short. The leaves always change very quickly and fall very quickly, and then it's just done and over. So I think that's the only thing I really dislike about fall. And the music that reminds me of the fall, the first thing that pops into my head is the Smiths, especially their first two albums. And all their albums really remind me of fall time. That's really when I got into them. Other than that, almost like any type of music kind of reminds me of the fall time. I think of, like, there's this album, Lil Yachty, his Lil Boat album reminds me of the fall, so I started listening to that around then. There's a lot of David Bowie's music, like the Heroes era, and that reminds me kind of like the late summer, early fall times. I was listening to that a lot around that time a few years ago. Yeah, and then like into the deeper fall, when it starts getting really cold, I'd say just like extreme metal music is really when I started getting into extreme metal music, and just going for walks in the woods, leaves have fallen, and that obviously reminds me of winter as well, just all through that season. This goes with that time of year so well. Yeah, that's it for fall. So fall number one for sure. And so let's go to the next one, which is winter. Winter is probably my second favorite season. What I like about winter is kind of a lot of the same things as the fall time. There's just a calmness to the air. The trees still look beautiful, even though they just shedded all their leaves. Just going out for walks is so much more pleasurable because it's so cold, and you build up heat from going out on walks, and I just love doing stuff like that, being out in nature. There's obviously the holidays. I love the holidays. There's just a big comfort I get from that, being inside with my family, and going out from the bitter cold and coming inside to just a warm fire and just heat in general, and just cozying up is just amazing. Just so comforting. And food that around that time of year is just really, really great as well. I mean, there's nothing really that growing much around that time of year, but it's just like there's something more comforting about food and just a warm meal. I guess I can go back to summer. One thing I do like about summer as well is the fruit that comes in and all the produce that comes in around that time of year. Another thing that goes along with just everything flourishing. So just peaches and berries and just different stuff like that, tomatoes, everything just comes in, and I love those. And in the fall time, you have like apples and stuff like that. It's very comforting as well. So, things I dislike about winter would have to be just it can be really cold sometimes, and being outside for really long periods can just be really not pleasurable, and you can die really easily outside if you were just be stuck outside somewhere in the bitter cold. Really sympathize with people that don't have a home during the winter, and wish people would be able to help them more, have them, give them shelter to live in. But that's a whole nother story. Yeah, I think that's really, and just winter time can lead to depression very easily too. It can be very depressing. It's a seasonal depressive disorder, just because the sun is not intense. You're not getting the sunshine and as much, and the days are so short. But I still love the short days to an extent too. It's just amazing sunrises and sunsets, and yeah. So I'd say, like I said, winter is probably my second favorite season. Music that reminds me of the winter time, I'd say holiday music, Christmas music, just jazz in general, like that reminds me of that time of year. Yeah, I mean, nothing stands out too much, specifically besides other than that. I listen to an array of everything, and I told you extreme metal, of course, as well, around that time of year. It just goes with that time of year so well, especially just like the Scandinavian extreme metal bands, just talking about nature and being out in the frigid cold all the time, and walking through the forest in the nighttime. And I do love there's something nice about the evenings and the nighttime of the winter as well, the frigid cold. There's just something nice about that as well. It's just so quiet out. Okay, let's go on to the final season, which is spring, which is my least favorite, if you haven't figured that out yet. I dislike spring because another reason is, I guess I'll start with the dislikes on this one, is that it's almost the furthest away from fall you can be besides winter time, I guess. And that's another thing I dislike about winter, any season that's far away from fall time. But I could also add that as an advantage for summertime because it's almost fall time. But yeah, spring is just like the evil sibling of or twin of fall time. I just do not like that time of year. Like talking about the angle of the sun, I don't like the angle of the sun at that time of year. It's just getting way too intense again, and I don't like the way the lighting is around, and seasonal allergies are just insane and just very uncomfortable. All the pollen everywhere, it just squirts out of everywhere, and it's just so uncomfortable. I just don't like it very much at all. But I guess some things I do like about that is that stuff starts springing in again. Stuff starts looking pretty, and but not as pretty as when you get into actual summertime. So it's just kind of like, but the sun starts getting stronger again. I can start getting some sunshine again, and that makes me feel better. But other than that, I don't really. It's just like leading back into that. I know the insane heat is coming, and I just don't really like it. It's just something about that time of year. It just makes me so uncomfortable. So I would be fine skipping spring for sure every year. But yeah, I guess stuff that reminds me, music that reminds me of that time of year. I guess kind of the same stuff that kind of reminds me of summertime, just the country music and that coming back in, like gearing up to be outside and at the beach again and stuff. But yeah, that's my video for today. I hope you liked it. Please let me know down below. I'd like to have a conversation. Let me know what your favorite season is and why you like that season. And I'd like to hear from you. I'd like to hear what other people's opinions are on things. So yeah, hope you like this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time.